Hello everyone. Let's start with the new topic of subject business statistics. Name is measures of dispersion. In last few lectures we have learned measures of central tendency. There are 8 measures of central tendency: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, median, mode, quartile, decile and percentiles. Now in today's lecture we are going to learn the next point, name is measures of dispersion.
A measures of dispersion is also called as the second order averages because they are based on the measures of central tendency. In previous lectures we already learned the different measures of central tendency like arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, median, mode, quartile, deciles and percentiles. Measures of central tendency is called as the first order averages and the measures of dispersion is called as the second order averages because they are totally based on the measures of central tendency. What is the definition of dispersion? The dispersion means the scatterness, that is the degree of variation or diversity. Dispersion gives the idea about homogeneity and heterogeneity of data. In general sense, the dispersion refers to the variability in the data. What is meant by dispersion? Dispersion checks the variability in the data, that means the scatterness of data. The Carl Pearson, one of the statisticians, used this concept first time to compare the variability by using the measures of dispersion. The average remain good representative if the dispersion is less. If the variability in the data is less, then the quality is good. That is, average remains the good representative if the dispersion is less. That means if the variability is less, then the average is good representative of our data. The following are the measures of dispersion. There are 4 measures of dispersion. First is range, quartile deviation, mean deviation and last is standard deviation. These 4 are the absolute measures of dispersion, and absolute measures of dispersion expressed in terms of original unit. Suppose for example the data we had given 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter and 4 centimeter, that means ungrouped data. Here we are given only the values of x. Suppose the first measure of central tendency is range. How to calculate the range? Largest value minus smallest value. So 4 minus 1, that is 3. So my answer of range is 3 centimeter because the absolute measures of dispersion is expressed in the original unit. Here the original unit is in centimeters. So my answer is also in centimeter. But the relative measures of dispersion expressed in terms of ratio or percentage only. What is meant by the relative measures? We will see. Okay, so the first measure of dispersion is range. So how to calculate the range? Range is the difference between the largest and the smallest values in a given series of data. Range is nothing but the just difference between the largest and smallest value. So range is equal to largest value minus smallest value. L is for the largest value and S is for the smallest value. And what is the relative measure of range? This relative measure is used to compare the data. So the relative measure of range is the coefficient of range is equal to L minus S divided by L plus S. L means the largest value and S means the smallest value. Let's see example of ungrouped data. Example, calculate the range and coefficient of range for following data. The range and coefficient of range formula for ungrouped data, grouped data and continuous data are same. So what is the formula for calculating the range? Range is the largest value minus smallest value, that is L minus S. What is the data we are given? The data values are 49, 36, 66, 41, 44, 71, 41, 46 and last is 53. So what is the largest value we are given in example? So the largest value is 71. And what is the smallest value we are given in example? 36. Now just plug the value of L and S in the formula. So what is the value of L? 71, largest value, and smallest value is 36. So formula for calculating the range is L minus S, that is 71 minus 36. So range value is 35. Now the relative measure coefficient of range is, formula is, the coefficient of range is L minus S divided by L plus S. So L value is 71, S is 36, so 71 plus 36. So 71 minus 36, that is 35, and 71 plus 36, that is 107. So the coefficient of range is 35 divided by 107. Okay. Now the next case is group data. So how to calculate the range and coefficient of range for following data, that is group data. The group data means we are given the values of x along with their frequency. So what is the formula for calculating range? L minus S, that is the largest value minus smallest value. So what is the largest value? We are given an example. X means the observation and F means the corresponding frequencies. So what is the largest value? We are given an example. So value means the observation. So largest observation is 6 and the smallest observation is 0. So 6 minus 0, that is 6. And what is the coefficient of range? So coefficient of range formula is L minus S divided by L plus S. L value is 6 and the S value is 0. So 6 minus 0 divided by 6 plus 0. So 6 divided by 6, that is 1. So coefficient of range value is 1. Now the last case, continuous data. What is meant by continuous data? If we are given the classes along with their frequency, then such data is called as the continuous data. So calculate range and coefficient of range for continuous data. What is the formula for calculating range? Largest value minus smallest value, that is L minus S. So what is the largest value? We are given in example. So largest value means largest observation. So here the largest observation is 16 and the smallest observation is 0. So 16 minus 0, that is 16. So the range value is 16. Now the coefficient of range formula is L minus S divided by L plus S. What is the largest value? We are given an example 16. And what is the smallest value? 0. So 16 minus 0 divided by 16 plus 0. So 16 divided by 16, that is 1. So the coefficient of range value is 1. So this is the concept of range for ungrouped data, group data and continuous data. Now the next point is merits and demerits of range. What are the merits of range? First merit is it is simple to understand and easy to calculate. Second merit is range is most widely used in the certain types of problems like quality control, share price analysis and the weather forecast, etc. Now the demerits of range, it is not based on our observation. Yes, because it just depends on the largest value and the smallest value in given series of data. If it is not based on our observation, then it is not rigidly defined. That means not strictly defined. And if it is not rigidly defined, then it is not capable for further mathematical treatment. That is, it is not used for the further mathematical calculations. Now the fourth demerit is it is not calculated for qualitative data. Suppose my data is red, blue and black. So formula for calculating the range is largest value minus smallest value. So which one is the largest value and which one is the smallest value in given series of data? We can't tell which one is the largest value and the smallest value because the given data is qualitative data. So the range is not calculated for the qualitative data and it is not calculated by graphically. Measures of dispersion is not calculated by graphically. Okay. Now the last is it is not calculated for the open-end classes. Suppose the classes are below 10 and above 10. Below 10 means 10 to less and above 10 means 10 to onwards. Okay, so which one is the largest value and which one is the smallest value in the given data? We can't calculate. Okay, so it is not calculated for the open-end classes. And one of the demerit of range is it is much more affected by the extreme observations, because the range is totally depends on the largest value and the smallest value. That's why it is affected by the extreme observation. So these are the merits and demerits of a range. In the next lecture we will see the next measure of dispersion, name is quartile deviation. Thank you.